I'm Isaac from the Mountain Takes, and today I'm looking at what happens when elite gym strength means nothing at altitude. From a CrossFit champion who couldn't breathe at 26,000 feet to a bodybuilder who ignored his guide's warnings on Annapurna. Two climbers who learned that muscles don't fix hypoxia. It was July 8, 2023. K2 shoulder, 24,500 feet, temperature minus 42 degrees Fahrenheit, whiteout conditions, and wind-cutting visibility to meters. Marcus Webb was 34 years old, a CrossFit champion from Denver, Colorado. 6 competition titles, AVO2 max of 78. He had YouTube followers, supplement endorsements, and a belief that his engineered body would conquer altitude. He wasn't expecting the mountain to have different rules. This was his first expedition above 20,000 feet. He'd trained in intensely high-altitude chambers, 6 a.m. CrossFit sessions, $40,000 in gear. He told his Instagram followers. K2 doesn't stand a chance. Pemba, his Sherpa guide, had guided 15 K2 climbers. He recognized the pattern immediately. At Camp 1, Marcus's oxygen saturation was 75%, acceptable but concerning. Pemba said, "How are you feeling?" Marcus said, "Fine, just adjusting." Pemba knew better. He documented. By Camp 2, Marcus's appetite had vanished. He was drinking constantly, eating half his meals. Pemba checked his saturation, 68%. "Your body is struggling," Pemba said. Marcus dismissed it. "I've trained for this. My cardiovascular system is elite." At Camp 3, saturation dropped to 62%. Pemba was direct. "We rest tomorrow. No summit push." Marcus laughed. "My VO2 max is 78. I'm stronger than everyone here." He wasn't. That night, Marcus developed a persistent cough and woke gasping for air at 2 a.m. His hands were trembling. Pemba made a note. Signs of HAPE, client refusing descent. The summit push began at 4:47 a.m. Marcus was struggling immediately, breathing labored and irregular. Every 50 meters, Pemba checked on him. "How are you, Marcus?" Each time, Marcus pushed faster, as if speed would prove something. By 6:30 a.m., his saturation had dropped to 57%. They rested. Marcus couldn't hold his water bottle steady. At 8:15 a.m., saturation was 54%, severe hypoxia. Confusion was setting in. Marcus was weaving on the rope, slurring words. Pemba grabbed him. "We need to descend. Your body is failing." Marcus pulled away. "I'm fine, just need water. We're close." At 11:47 a.m., Marcus clipped past Pemba and accelerated upward, ignoring his guide's shouts. Pemba called, "Marcus, stop, come back." But Marcus was beyond listening. His hypoxic mind had one goal: summit. At 1:15 p.m., at 25,000 feet, another climber saw him moving like a drunk person, eyes unfocused, words slurred. "I have to summit, I promised." At 2:34 p.m., Marcus collapsed 300 feet below Camp 4 on the Black Pyramid. He simply fell backward into the snow. Klaus, another climber, reached him first. Marcus was gasping, his eyes open but unseeing. Pemba arrived and heard Marcus's final words, fragmented and desperate. "I can't. Why can't I just push through this? My body, it's supposed to be strong." Pemba performed CPR for 8 minutes in minus 42 degree cold. Marcus's body was too far gone, his lungs filled with fluid. His organs failed from hypoxia. He died at 2:47 p.m., the autopsy revealed. High-altitude cerebral edema, high-altitude pulmonary edema, multi-organ failure. Marcus had removed his oxygen mask multiple times, believing his lungs were strong enough. They're not. No lungs are at 25,000 feet without oxygen. Pemba's statement. "I told him to descend at Camp 3. I told him at the shoulder. He refused. The mountain doesn't care how strong you are." Marcus's widow, Catherine, told reporters. Marcus thought fitness could beat the mountain. The mountain doesn't care how many push-ups you can do. 2 months later, halfway around the world, another elite athlete would walk towards the same lesson. It was October 12, 2022. Annapurna 1 between Camp 3 and Summit Ridge, 25,600 feet. Temperature minus 35 degrees Fahrenheit. Clear morning deteriorating into clouds by afternoon. David Kruger was 41 years old, a professional bodybuilder from San Jose, California. Mr. Olympia competitor. 285 pounds of engineered muscle. Supplement company owner. His flaw was simple. He believed his engineered body made him immune to the mountain's rules. His guide, Karma, had summited Annapurna twice. Karma told him during planning, "The mountain doesn't care about muscles. Altitude affects everyone equally. David smiled. I'm not everyone. At base camp, at 13,500 feet, David was already struggling. Headache, nausea, shortness of breath, oxygen saturation, 82%. Karma recommended slower acclimatization. Spend an extra week, Karma said. David refused. I don't need extra time. I came here to summit. At Camp 1, his massive body became a liability. Every pound of muscle requires oxygen. Climbers lighter than David were moving well. David was exhausted, breathing hard, unable to eat. Karma checked. You okay? David said. Just tired. Better tomorrow. He wasn't. At Camp 2, saturation dropped to 78%. Karma expressed concern. David dismissed it. It's adjusting. Give it time. Karma recommended oxygen. David refused immediately. I didn't come here to use artificial help. I want to summit under my own power. By Camp 3, David showed clear HAPE symptoms: persistent wet cough, rapid shallow breathing, unable to sleep lying down. He woke gasping for air. Karma heard him coughing through the tent wall and knew the situation was deteriorating. Summit morning, Karma made a formal recommendation. We should not go up today. Your body shows serious altitude sickness. We should descend, recover, try again in 3 days. David's voice was frustrated. 3 days? My sponsor is waiting. My coaching clients are waiting. I trained for 14 months to turn back at Camp 3, Karma said quietly. I have guided 43 climbers on Annapurna. 12 died. The ones who ignored their guide's warnings are mostly in that 12. They began at 5:30 a.m. David was struggling before they left camp. His massive legs, which could squat 700 pounds, were struggling to move forward in thin air. Karma checked frequently. How are you feeling, David? Okay, be honest. I'm struggling, but I can continue. At 8:15 a.m., saturation was 71%. His cough intensified, wheezing with each exhale fluid in the lungs. Karma offered oxygen. Use this, David, please. David refused. No, I can do this. I'm stronger than this. At 10 a.m., at 24,800 feet, saturation was 68%. His movements were clumsy. He was stumbling, confused about the route, though only one exists. Are we going the right way? Karma said. Yes, stay with me. But David's brain, starved of oxygen, couldn't process spatial information. His cough was constant. His face flushed, despite minus 35 degrees. Sweat soaked his shirt. 2 hours from summit, Karma made final recommendation. David, we must descend now. You are very sick. Your body is failing. We risk death. David's words were slurred, eyes unfocused. I'm fine, he said. Clearly not. At 12:47 p.m., David asked Karma the same question for the 4th time. How much longer to summit? Repetitive questioning meant cerebral hypoxia. His brain couldn't form new memories. Karma's concern turned to fear. You are not thinking clearly. We descend now. David refused. I'm going to summit. At 1:15 p.m., David separated from Karma and moved upward alone. Karma called for him to return. He didn't. At 2:10 p.m., climber Sophie, descending, saw David moving erratically. He was confused, very confused, zombie-like. I offered oxygen. He refused. He said, no, I'm strong. But he was clearly very weak. At 2:45 p.m., Karma radioed base camp. Climber in severe distress. Altitude, sickness critical. Rescue needed immediately. But helicopter rescue at 25,400 feet is impossible. Climbers cannot descend fast from that altitude. The rescue team knew if David didn't descend on his own power, he would die on the mountain. At 3:20 p.m., Karma reached David. David had stopped moving, sitting down in snow, back against his pack, eyes open but staring at nothing. Karma checked saturation, 48%. Critical failure imminent. Karma radioed. Climber not responding to voice. Oxygen. Saturation 48%. Preparing emergency descent. They began descent at 3:45 p.m. David semi-conscious, walking but not understanding, repeating, I'm strong. At 4:15 p.m., David collapsed completely. His legs gave out. Karma laid him down. Pulse weak and irregular, breathing shallow, skin cold and clammy, pupils dilated. They carried David to emergency shelter at 25,150 feet. Weather deteriorated. Wind increased. Helicopter rescue became impossible. Overnight descent in whiteout was too dangerous. They were stuck. At 7:30 p.m., David's condition deteriorated further. Breathing became irregular. Saturation dropped to 44%. Respiratory failure imminent. Karma and Sophie tried to give oxygen. David's lungs so filled with fluid the oxygen couldn't process. At 8:15 p.m., David's breathing stopped. His heart continued 1 minute. Then it too stopped. David Kruger died at 8:16 p.m. on October 12, 2022, at 25,150 feet. His final words, Mom, I tried so hard. The autopsy revealed Pulmonary edema, lungs filled completely with fluid, drowning him from inside. Combined with cerebral edema and complete hypoxia, organs failed simultaneously. Cause: multisystem organ failure. Critical finding: David had been offered oxygen 6 times. He refused 6 times. His final refusal came at 7:10 p.m., just over an hour before death. Karma's statement: I have guided 18 years on this mountain. Strength means nothing. Humility means everything. David had physical strength. He had no respect for the mountain. The mountain demands respect, not muscles. David's training partner, Mark. David was the most dedicated athlete I knew, but gym dedication is different from mountain survival. He couldn't separate them. The mountain separated them permanently. His mother, Linda. My son believed his body could do anything, but perfection doesn't matter at 25,000 feet. Listening matters. Humility matters. Accepting help matters. David was too proud. The mountain doesn't forgive pride. Every year, elite athletes arrive at these mountains with similar beliefs. Every year, some don't leave. The mountain takes no prisoners, regardless of strength or competition titles. If you faced your own mountain, let me know. Subscribe for more stories of mountains that can't be outtrained. I'm Isaac, and I'll see you on the next ascent.